Hi, my name's Darian. I am a freelance audio editor. What is freelancing like for me? It's a lot of working from home. I know that's not depending on what kind of freelancing you're doing. There's different, you can be out and about. I work from home. Freelancing for me is almost done exclusively at my computer desk, on my laptop, my nice high-spec laptop for editing. Cutting, pasting clips. And when I'm not doing that, I'm in meetings with clients usually.
Is it everything you thought it would be?
Actually, no, but in a positive way, not a negative way. Because I actually kind of had a negative feeling about freelancing when I first heard about it, when I first learned about it, which was in school. I took a class on freelancing. And I was kind of under the impression it was sort of something to beef out your other work, to like fill things in, to make work, like get a little bit of extra money, things like that. I didn't necessarily think of it as a career. And I didn't think of it as something for me. I didn't think that I would like freelancing. I was like, it feels too unstable. It feels too inconsistent. I'm someone who really likes to have a very clear set path and goal and things like that. And freelancing is so much just like kind of going by the wind and doing what feels best. And that's not to my nature at all. But I decided to give it a go because I had another job. I was working for, still kind of am, the Calgary International Film Festival, and that wasn't enough money to live off of, and it wasn't enough hours. So I was like, maybe I can freelance on top of this and make enough. So I started freelancing, and I kind of fell in love with it, and I think it suits me so much better than a regular job would.
Is there anything you wish you learned earlier about freelancing?
I wish that I knew it was more possible. Like when I first was learning about it, I kind of was under the impression it was like you get lucky. Some people get lucky and can make it work, but most people don't. And I didn't really think of myself as someone who could do it. It was just kind of like, oh, like some people just happen to be really good at it and are lucky enough to get clients and are lucky enough to be able to make it work. That's probably not going to happen for me. And the reality is that like I had all the skills and I have everything I need to be able to do it. And I am doing it. And I didn't know that was going to be possible.
Do you feel like imposter syndrome ever goes away?
Maybe after so many years, but I don't know about you, but because I'm still pretty new in freelancing, it kind of constantly feels like, oh, I shouldn't be here. Like people are trusting me with a lot, and I don't feel like for some reason, no good reason, do I feel like I've earned it, even though I'm doing the work, I'm providing the results, but every day it's just like, oh, should I be here? Especially when among like, I don't know how much you've talked to older freelancers or for people who've been freelancing for a long time, and it's like, we are on such different levels, it feels like I am not the same, even if I'm technically doing the same thing.
Are you fulfilled by what you do?
Oh, spicy.
Here's the thing, yes, but also no. Earlier, Keo was mentioning about like the difficulty of like wanting to be creative and be like art, and this is like something you really love, but it's also something you work. And working on something that you love can be kind of like crosses the lines. But I actually think I have a different experience, and that's because I don't love editing in the same way that you guys like photography. I enjoy editing, but it's not like a passion in the same way that it is for a lot of you. So when I have to work on editing, it doesn't feel as terrible because it is something, it's just like a piece of work that I enjoy doing as opposed to like a passion. So in that way, does it fulfill me? Not really, because I'm not necessarily doing something I'm super passionate about. The other aspect of the not fulfilling is also sometimes money can be kind of stressful. It's not always works out. But that being said, on the other hand, the thing that I think that it fulfills the most and is uniquely able to fulfill me is the ability to, like, I'm gonna tell you a story really quick here. When I was getting to the end of university, I was so stressed out because I do not want to work. And that maybe that makes me sound like a terrible, like lazy person. But I was like, Mom, I don't think I can work. Like, I think if I have to go to a job every day for 40 days or 40 hours a week, I will last a year and then I'm going to want to end it. Like, genuinely, sorry, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can live a job. I don't know if I'm just not built for it. I don't know like maybe mentally I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this long term. And so when freelancing came around, I was like, there's other options. I don't have to do a 9 to 5, 5-day work week for the rest of my life. I have more options than I thought I did. And it has been like so much better for my like mental health to be able to work when I want to work, how I want to work, in the places I want to work, with who I want to work with, instead of this god awful 9 to 5, 5-day a week drag that a lot of people do. So I find that to be really fulfilling. I'd say it's important to like find what like brings you joy and what brings you like, I'm going to use the word dopamine, because if you are constantly running and there's nothing that is actually fulfilling you, like recharging you, or like there's different kinds of fulfillment, like I said, but like if nothing is making you happy at the end of the day, like that's a really shitty place to be. That's a really shitty way to live. And sometimes it's really hard, and sometimes it's not always. Sometimes D&D doesn't make me as happy as it always does, but it's important to have things that you can always like fall back on to give you those mental fulfillments that you need.
Is there like a type of project or like dream projects that you would love to work or edit? That you're like get this is it.
You know what would be really fun, and there's the likelihood I'd be able to do this is basically zero, but I like D&D podcasts would be so great to edit because it's just a mixture of two things I really, really love. But I don't actually know anybody. And also, like, I say D&D podcast, but also a D&D podcast that can afford to pay me well. So.
Yeah. Is there anything else you would like to add?
If anyone is ever considering, like, freelancing or is like, oh, maybe I'm, like, kind of curious about it, I would encourage you to try it. I feel like there's very little consequences to trying it. Like, especially if you can get, like, equipment and things like that, for free, or like can borrow somebody's and like give it a try. Like I said, I didn't think I was going to like this as much as I did, so I'm really glad that I tried it and I found out that I loved it.
If people wanted to reach out to you for a project, how do they contact you?
Email is the best way to get to me. My email is dsmacdonald80@gmail.com, and hopefully soon I'll have some other things up, but for now, website. Or not website, email.